Hi, this is Essay Class 1. This is our first orientation. And I thought I was recording this earlier, but I paused it and then instead of resuming it, I stopped it. So I didn't record all of this. I do have a separate video about the essay class file that I'll be talking about here in a second. I'll tell you how to get to it. It's called Why Essays. And I also go over the homework that you're going to have this week. Okay, so right now, though, I want to introduce you to our class on Google Docs, or Google Drive, rather. So you're going to go to your Google Drive account. You're going to go ahead and sign in. You can use a parent account. That's totally fine. I will need to have the email address connected to your Google Drive account so that I can share this with you if I have not already shared it with you. So you can contact me or you can email me. It's amyleebell@hotmail.com, or you may have another way to contact me. That's fine too. So you're going to go to your Google Drive account. You're going to get signed in. You can pause this while you're doing that if you need to do that. Now this will only work if I already have had your email address, so make sure I have that. Then you're going to go over to the left-hand column. It says Shared with Me. Okay, click on that, and you will see a folder. Should be pretty recent. You'll see a folder that says Shared from Essay Class. Okay, you're going to click on that. Now there are several folders in here. There's 7 right for now. As of the recording of this video, there are 7 folders in that folder, and there are 2 other documents. Now the first thing I want to say is don't get scared because you really only need a couple of these things. Okay. If you're coming to my class physically, you will have hard copies of everything in the folder that says needed if you lose your hard copy, okay? If you are not physically coming to my class, you will need to print out, let me see. You're eventually going to need to print all of them out, but for the orientation class 1, which is this one, you're only going to need Why Essays and the homework for orientation part 1, okay? Actually, you won't ever really need to print out the extra essay organizer unless you want to, okay? And then next week, you'll need the other 2 things. While we're in that folder, let's go ahead and kind of look through those. The first one is the essay rubric. You can click on that if you want to. Actually, go ahead and click into that. I'm going to be doing this along with you so that I can explain a few things to you. This one we'll talk about more next week because this is part of class 2, but just to show you where it is, the rubric is so that you will be sure you're getting the highest points that you possibly can. Sometimes when you're writing an essay, it might seem subjective. Well, does the teacher like me? Does the teacher like this topic? Does the teacher think I'm a good student? And you might be concerned that that might affect your grade. I mean, maybe not on purpose, but maybe the teacher just is like, oh, I don't know. This rubric will show you if you do all the things in this rubric in the 1-point column, then you will earn 10 points on the essay, and that is what you want. Every essay is worth 10 points, okay? You will see what's going on with that as you read through it. It'll make more sense after this class, after you watch the next video about why essays. Okay, so don't worry about that too much right now. Then go to the second page of that same file, and it tells you about the grades for quizzes, the grades for this week's homework, how everything breaks down. I have only assigned a total of 100 points for this class. So if you miss a point, you're actually taking a point off of your total score. It's point for point. Okay? So try to get the best points that you can. Okay, the next one says extra essay organizer. We'll see that a little bit later in the second video that I recorded for this class. That one I did record while everybody was here, okay, and I didn't mess that one up. Okay. So homework orientation part 1 we're also going to be talking about later on as well. So don't worry about that either. And then the next 2 you're going to see next week. Well, I guess I shouldn't say it that way in case I update this folder later. Next week you'll see homework orientation part 2 and the quick reference for essay writing. Okay, and then this week you're definitely going to want to print out Why Essays. Print it out. We're going to be writing on it. We're going to be talking about it in the next video. Okay, so go back out to the main folder that says Shared from Essay Class. There's another folder that says Needed. I try to make these easy to find. I put them at the top. I put them all in caps. Click through the one that says Links to Videos and Quizzes. It's Needed. Okay. Mine's not clicking. Okay, so links to quizzes. That is the one you will definitely need. Okay. Go ahead and click through to that one. We're going to take the practice quiz later on in the next video. Actually, you know what? That's not true. I'm pretty sure we took it in this video. So go ahead and click on the practice quiz while we're in there. It says 0 practice quiz. Click on that and it's going to open a new page for you. Okay. You'll have to put in the email address associated with this account. I mean, I think you could put in a different email address there. But just go ahead and use the one that's associated with the Google Drive account that you're using. You only need your first name, or you can put the whole thing in, I don't care. Now there's some very silly, fun questions, short, easy. On this quiz, try to get them all wrong. I know that sounds silly, but go ahead and get them all wrong, and I'm going to go through and get them all wrong really quickly. All right. You'll see that the other quizzes that you take say, did you watch a video before taking this test? The answer is no, but since we're getting it all wrong, we're going to say yes. Okay, and then your other quizzes, though, it's up to you whether you watch the videos or not, and I talk about that a lot more in the next video. Okay, so for your grammar quizzes, you may or may not watch the video. I don't care whether you answer yes or no. I just want an honest answer because I'm going to be comparing among all of my students later on to see if the students who did watch the videos score any higher in general than the students who didn't watch the videos. So that's just mostly for me. You do what you want. Okay, you can rate it on a scale of 1 to 5. Is this a serious quiz or a silly quiz? Do whatever you want there too. You will be rating the other quizzes that you take as far as did you understand them or not, okay? Now, you can leave feedback. You can type in an answer if you want to. Then hit submit, okay? And what did I do? I didn't put in my name and address because my name and my email because I was talking you guys through it and I skipped that part. Okay. So, if you made a mistake like I did, hit submit again. Okay, you will see on this page where it says view score or submit another response. This page will stay up even if you hit view score. So go ahead and hit view score. That tab that we were just on stays open and leave it open, okay? Now you should have gotten 0 points out of 3 unless you accidentally picked my favorite color. You can see that the questions that you got wrong are in red and it tells you what the correct answer is. It also gives you feedback, okay? On your quizzes that you take for this class, you will get feedback for any wrong answer, all right? Or a lot of times for the right answers as well. Let's see. Check to see what my favorite color is. That's the correct answer for number 3. Then once you're done looking at your answers and the feedback, shut down that page. And then the page that you were on before that said view score also says submit another response. You're going to go ahead and click submit another response. Okay. This time you're going to fill it out again and you're going to make sure you get all of the answers correct this time. Okay. Really quickly go through there. If you don't know a correct answer, you can look and see what it was from your last quiz. Try to understand the concept as much as possible. So that I really want you guys to learn as much as you possibly can and not just kind of move your way through the quizzes. Okay, so view your score when you're done with that one. If I'm ahead of you, just pause this until you're caught up. View your score. This time you should get 3 out of 3. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close all of those pages. We're going back to the file that you clicked through to get there where it says 0 practice quiz. All right. It's the one in the needed links to videos and quizzes, and the name of it is, what is the name of this? Links to quizzes, okay? So it says due by midnight, June 20th, and there are 5 quizzes that you need to take. You may or may not watch the videos. It's totally up to you. If you're an auditory learner, you may want to watch them. If you learn better by reading, you may want to just take the quizzes. All of the same information is on the quizzes. It's what's in the videos. Okay, I tried. I did my best, okay? So this week I did give you 5 quizzes because you're not writing any essays this week. So this is your lightest week as far as homework goes. So I kind of doubled up on the quizzes for you. Okay, every week after this, you're only doing 2 quizzes per week. All right? So come back out of there. Click on the one that says links to videos. You can either go to the videos from here, but again, they're optional. You don't need to. Or if you're in a quiz and you're not understanding something, there is also a link to the video in the quiz. So you don't even have to open this file that's just links to videos. You can just leave it closed. You won't need it because you can get to the videos another way. Okay? So really, I mean, the only thing you really need is your hard copies and the things that's in the folder that says if you lose your hard copy or if you're not here to begin with and you need hard copies, and the links to your quizzes. Everything else is just for you in case you want it, okay? Optional essay prompts. Let's say you're having trouble coming up with essay ideas. So if you go into that folder, you'll find some essay prompts you can write about, okay? Optional grammar and punctuation reference. If you're having trouble hyphenating adjectives or if you're not understanding the difference between using the word less and using the word fewer, there's actually several things in there. They're just references. So they're for your reference only. So you don't have to get in there. If you want to, go for it. Read through all of those files if you want to. It'll make you a better writer. If not, I will refer you back to those as the need arises. Okay, so if I notice something in your essay that I think you need to learn a little bit about, I will refer you back to this folder and tell you which one to read. Okay. Also, if you're having trouble with something, Google a YouTube video for it. Eventually, I would like to make my own videos for all of these things. We'll see if that happens or not, okay? But for now, I think the references I provided you with should be helpful. And if something comes up that I have not covered, I'm going to try to add that to the file that says links to more concepts, okay? So hopefully this folder will keep growing as we go. All right, so another folder says optional help and miscellaneous. The memory writing practice, if you've been in my research paper writing class or if you've taken this essay class before, you'll know that I like to have people read something, okay? All of the, let's see. Okay, so I have a bunch of articles out in a different folder I'll show you in a minute, but if you would read an article that's maybe a page long and then read it 3 times throughout the course of your day and then put it away, and the next day or later that night, just sit down and write everything that comes to your mind, okay? Write everything that you learned from just reading the article several times. You weren't trying to memorize facts or anything. Some of that stuff just stuck in your head, and you just sit down and write whatever you think about, okay? Then at the end, let's say you write maybe half a page, let's say you couldn't remember a fact or a detail or a date, you can go back to the article and fill those in later, but it's an easy way to just sit down and write. It keeps you from having writer's block because there's no pressure. You're not trying to organize your words in any certain way. You're just writing whatever comes out of your head, okay? So if you click through to the memory writing practice PDF, it will explain to you in detail what I want you to do, how to do it. The reference for Google Drive will tell you how to use the comment functionality of Google Drive and how to share files with me. Okay, you can click through to those. Okay, go back out to where it says shared from essay class. That's the main folder I shared with you. And now go into optional memory writing practice. If you click through there, it's just a whole bunch of articles, okay? They're all about a page long. I think there's one in there that's 2 pages long. That's what you can practice. Practice not having writer's block by reading the article several times, putting it away, and maybe writing about it the next day. You just write what you can think of. This is just for practice. You don't have to do this. Notice that all of these are called optional, okay? All of these folders. And then the optional useful printables, it's another folder yet inside the shared from essay class folder. I'm going to click through to that one. There's one called For Better Writing. tells you how to dress up a sentence. It tells you how to vary your sentence openers, like open your sentence. Instead of just having subject, verb, sentence constantly all the way through all of your paragraphs, maybe you'll start with an ly adverb, or maybe you'll start with the word while, or start with the word if, okay, to start with a dependent clause. Now, we'll get into dependent clauses. I think you cover dependent clauses in the quizzes that you're going to take this week. You cover some of them. I'm not sure if you cover all of them. Okay, so that'll make more sense later on. Anyway, this is just ideas for you guys to make your writing a little easier, make your writing a little better. It's optional. You can look at that if you want. And then the last file there says online quizzes printable. It is in the shared from essay class, and it's also in the other file that says optional useful printables, and it's called online quizzes printable. That one's really long, so if you print it out, it's going to use tons of paper. I'm just telling you guys that right now, up ahead of time. I think the length of that file was the reason I decided to do the quizzes online, okay? But if you're the kind of person that you want to sit there with your pen and your brain and take quizzes on paper, you can take them on this piece of paper first. They're the same quizzes. Some of the functionality is a little bit differently because of the way Google Forms works. But you can take the quizzes on paper first if you want to, but you still have to take them online and submit them to me. So this nobody is probably going to use this, but I did put it in there in case that's your learning style and that's your preference, okay? So come back out to shared from essay class. The bottom file says mind map. We're going to leave that one there, and we're going to talk more about it in the next video, okay? The one that we did while everybody was here. So right now you're just going to, this is the last thing we're going to do before I end this part of it. We're going to go into leave group questions here. Okay, so there's only 2 files in the main folder, and that's one of them. Click through to that one. And I've just got a bunch of, is it a question about Google Drive? Is it a question about essay structure? I've got a bunch of like topics on this piece of paper, okay? All you have to do is, if you have a question that you want the whole group to see and discuss and talk about, you can just put your cursor anywhere on that page within the topic that you have a question about. Let's say it's about punctuation. You can put your cursor anywhere on that line that says questions about punctuation. And then at the top of the screen, above the ruler, so it's above the paper and right above the ruler, right above the 6, almost right above the 6 on mine, there is, I guess it depends on how far you're viewed in, how far you're zoomed in. But if you're at 100%, it's right above the 6 to the left a little bit, and it looks like a little comment box with a plus sign in it. So leave your cursor in the topic that you have a question about and hit the comment box, and the comment box will open up and you can type your question, and then after you type your question, hit the button that says comment right below what you've typed. Okay, and then you can click on anybody else's comment and hit, let me see what it says exactly. So there's a little box that says reply, and you can just start typing in that box if you want to reply to somebody else's comment. Okay, I had the girls who were here today click anywhere in the whole document and just type hi, which they did that. And then now what I really want you to do is click anywhere in the last line. I have reviewed the shared files. That's everything we talked about just now in this last video that I'm making right this moment. Once you've done this, comment with the word done. So you're going to put your cursor anywhere in that line, hit the comment box up at the top above the 6. Another thing you can do instead of doing that is hold down Control, Alt, and M, and the comment box pops up. And you're just going to type the word done, and then hit the button comment under where it says done. Okay? All right, that is how to use that. Anybody can read any of this, so if you have a question that you want to ask me in private, you can just email me. My email address is at the top of this document. It's also at the top of the homework file. Okay? So, yeah, so I'm going to be going over homework more in detail. Don't be overwhelmed by this. You really only just need a couple of those files. Okay, you need your hard copies and you need the links to the quizzes. Now, every quiz has a link to a video in it, so you don't even ever really have to open the video link page from this folder here. Okay, so that is it. That's kind of your way around this class in Google Drive. Okay, if you guys have questions, like I said, amyleebell@hotmail.com, or you can leave a question in the leave group questions here. If you, as long as the question isn't, how do I get that far? Okay, so that is that. So now I want you to watch the video that tells you about the file called Why Essays. If you need that one, then go to Needed if you lose your hard copy folder and print out Why Essays. And like I said, you are going to want to print that one out. Okay, for sure. Okay, all right. I'll see you guys next time. See you in the next video. Okay, bye.